There is a war happening inside you. Not out there, not in the headlines, not on the battlefield, but within the walls of your own mind. A war between the man you are and the man you could be, between comfort and greatness, between impulse and intention, between the lie of ease and the truth of effort. Every moment you delay action, you surrender ground. Every time you choose distraction over discipline, desire over direction, pleasure over purpose, you retreat. You weaken the warrior inside, the one who was born not to be tamed, but to rise. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This is not poetry. This is prophecy. Your unconscious desires, the ones you refuse to face, they are the hidden generals of your downfall. They whisper in your ear that sleep is sweeter than struggle, that now is more important than forever. They want you tame, predictable, weak. But you were not made to obey every craving. You were made to command yourself. Discipline is not punishment. It is liberation. It is the declaration that you are not your urges. You are not your fears. You are not a slave to dopamine or delay. Discipline is the sword you carry into the battle with your lower self. Because this is what it comes down to. Either you master the inner war, or the inner war masters you. Either you live by design or you die by default. There is no neutral ground. The path to mastery begins with belief. Belief that you were born for more. Not in the shallow sense of wishing, but in the deep blood and bone recognition that you have a calling, that your life is not an accident, but an assignment. The world wants you distracted, scrolling, consuming, doubting. It profits from your confusion. It thrives when you forget who you are. But belief, real belief, burns through the fog. It makes the invisible visible. It shows you a version of yourself that hasn't fully arrived yet, but demands to be born. And belief, when properly harnessed, becomes clarity. The fog lifts. You stop asking, "What should I do?" and start declaring, "This is what I will become." Clarity is not knowing every step. It's knowing the direction. It's having the courage to point your life toward the mountain instead of wandering the valley. Because the valley is crowded, filled with men who settled, men who once dreamed but got tired, who chose comfort over the cost of becoming. But you are not here to settle. Vision is the architecture of greatness. It is the blueprint of the soul. Without it, the strongest man drifts. The most gifted becomes wasted potential. But with vision, even the weak grow strong. Even the broken rise, because vision gives pain a purpose. You will be tested. You will be tempted. But if your vision is clear enough, no temporary pleasure will ever be greater than your permanent purpose. And this is where purpose enters. Not as a motivational quote, but as a fire. Purpose is not a luxury. It is oxygen. Without it, you suffocate under the weight of your own mediocrity. Your purpose is buried beneath the distractions, beneath the years you spent fitting in, staying quiet, waiting for permission. But it's there, and when you find it, everything changes. Your yes becomes sacred, your no becomes strong. You stop chasing everything and start becoming something. But knowing your purpose is not enough. You must protect it with discipline. Because desire will knock on your door every morning. It will tell you to hit snooze. It will tell you that one day off won't hurt, that no one will know, that you've earned a break. Desire is not evil, but it is wild, and unless you tame it, it will tear your future apart. Discipline is the taming of chaos. It is the daily decision to become the man your future demands. It is structure in the storm, order in the uncertainty. It is showing up when your feelings say quit. Discipline is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent, about choosing what matters most over what feels easiest, about doing what's right when no one is watching. And if you want to be unstoppable, if you want to build a life that echoes past your lifetime, you must marry your discipline to action. Because dreaming is cheap, talking is easy, but action, real, focused, unrelenting action, that's the difference between a life remembered and a life wasted. The world is full of men who almost did, who could have been. But you still have time. Use it. Every morning you wake up is another chance to rewrite the story, another opportunity to prove to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you are not owned by impulse, that you are not bound by the past, that you are not done, you are becoming. And what you are becoming requires gratitude, not just for the victories, but for the pain. Because the pain is not punishment, it's preparation. It's the refining fire that burns away the weakness, the ego, the excuses. It teaches you what comfort never could. Gratitude is the lens that turns adversity into advantage. It doesn't say, "I love this pain." It says, "I love who I'm becoming because of it." So when life breaks you, rebuild. When it humbles you, listen. When it delays you, grow. Because every challenge you face is shaping the weapon you are meant to wield in the service of others. This is how resilience is born, not in the absence of hardship, but in the refusal to break. And when you realize that every failure was a teacher, every betrayal a redirection, every delay a setup for something greater, you stop resenting the process and start respecting it. Adaptability is your warrior's gift, the ability to shift, to evolve, to bend without breaking, to take the chaos of life and forge it into clarity. Because this is not a straight road. The path will twist, it will test. But if your foundation is forged in vision and discipline, no storm will shake you. Learn, grow, sharpen yourself, not just for success, but for service, for leadership, for legacy. Your life is not just about what you build, but what you awaken in others. So take this moment and let it break the silence inside you. Let it disturb the comfort. Let it shake the sleep from your soul, because the life you're meant to live does not wait. It does not beg. It does not ask. It demands. It demands discipline when you're tired, focus when you're distracted, courage when you're afraid, and faith when the path is invisible. There will be nights when doubt crawls into your chest, when you question if it's worth it, when the progress is slow and the pain feels fast. But remember, gold is not forged in calm. Diamonds are not shaped in stillness. Warriors are not made in comfort. The world will never hand you your greatness. You must take it. And the currency is discipline. The cost is comfort. The reward is immortality. Every time you choose purpose over pleasure, you win a battle. Every time you move forward in fear, you reclaim ground. Every time you fall and rise again, you become untouchable. The man who does not quit cannot be defeated. The man who does not surrender cannot be enslaved. So stop asking for an easier life. Ask to become a stronger man, because there's nothing more dangerous than a man who has faced his shadow and chosen to lead anyway. This is not about motivation. This is about metamorphosis. It's about becoming the kind of person who wakes up every day with fire in their lungs and resolve in their bones. There is no secret, there is no shortcut, just a choice. Every day, again and again. Discipline over desire, purpose over pleasure. That's how you win the inner war. Now move. The battlefield is waiting.